So I just got home from Broome OBGYN. It is 1:40 on Thursday the 8th, 9th? I don't even know what today is. It's Thursday. Anyhow, so today is cycle day 12 and I had my follicle check ultrasound to see how my ovaries are doing after Clomid and how my lining is doing on the estrase. So lining is great, it's thick, looks wonderful. And as I suspected, on my left side, I have a large mature follicle. It was measuring 21 by 29 millimeters, which is almost 3 centimeters big. So if you like, it's a decent size, and that is very mature. That's like ready to go. And they saw some free fluid around the ovary, meaning it actually may be starting to start that process of ovulation, because ovulation isn't like a minute long thing. It takes a few hours for the follicle to rupture open and allow the egg to kind of through it. It kind of births the egg, if you will. So it looks like that follicle may be starting to leak some fluid. So I might actually be starting this process like just on my own. So she said she didn't want to wait to have me trigger tonight. She wanted me to go home, straight home and trigger. And then we would do the IUI tomorrow, Friday. We're the last one on the schedule. So it's scheduled at 3:20, probably be 3:30, 3:45 by the time we do the IUI. Because she felt like if we triggered tomorrow or tonight and then scheduled for Saturday morning, because I'm kind of already there and starting on my own, it might be a little late. So ideally timing is like not awesome, but timing is never awesome for me. Like that's just not something that works out ever for me. And like I said, I'm not like really placing a lot on this working because I don't really know why it would suddenly just perfectly work, but you never know. I mean, who knows? But, woof. So, I'm home, pulled the Avadrel trigger out of the fridge. This one, so I've done HCG triggers multiple times, lots of times, and so this is nothing new to me, but this, I've never done the Avadrel brand before. So this one is an actual pre-filled syringe, so I don't have to mix or change needles and stuff with this one, which is kind of nice. So should be simple. Gets done in the belly fat, like around the belly button area, like under there, where you have a decent amount of fat under the skin, because this is a subcutaneous injection, which means it goes in that fatty skin tissue layer. It's not in the muscle. It's easy. It's not a lot of stuff. It's fast, and HCG doesn't usually hurt at all. Sometimes it might sting a little, but it's not bad. The catch with HCG is every time I've ever done it afterwards, so like in the hours after, in the day after, I'll get like a red sore patch, and then it begins to itch like crazy where I gave the injection. So we'll see if that happens with the Avadrel. Probably will, because it's assuming it's the HCG. So reminder, HCG, pregnancy hormone, very chemically close to LH hormone, which is luteinizing hormone. So the HCG trigger will act like LH, in the body. So the body will just help that egg fully mature and trigger ovulation, just making sure it's happening. And then the downside is the HCG trigger, once the HCG is in your system, you will turn a pregnancy test. So you can't really trust them. I will likely be testing my trigger out. I'll be doing a test every day and kind of seeing it go down and fade. And when I see like it's not there anymore, then I can trust that if I get anything after that, it would be obviously produced by a baby. Or if it's getting low in a light line and then all of a sudden starts getting darker, that would be a good sign. I'm expecting it to go away and nothing come back and my period start. But we'll see. Hi guys, it is January 22nd, Wednesday. So almost 2 weeks after the last time I filmed. I just wanted to update you guys on what has gone on since. So the day I last filmed, I was about to do my trigger shot, the Avidral trigger. So that went pretty well, super quick, super easy. I found out afterwards that Avidral is actually a little bit different of an HCG type. It's a synthetic lab-made HCG, whereas all the HCGs I've done prior have been actual HCG from pigs. They collect it out of pig urine, actually. Gross. And it's a little, this one was a little bit less of a dose than I've done in the past. So I did not have any itching or redness at the site of injection, and I didn't really have as intense symptoms afterwards, which I kind of forgot to mention. HCG causes symptoms like pregnancy symptoms, like really tired, foggy feeling. Sometimes you can feel a little nauseous, etc. I mean, I was a little bit tired that evening, but I didn't really have much for symptoms, which was nice, actually. Went in the next day and did the IUI about 4 p.m. So it was about 26 hours from trigger, which is earlier than they like. 36 hours is the timing they like, but that would be like in the middle of the night. And they had really felt like I started that ovulation process on my own already, so might have had a few hours of ovulating in already. The IUI itself went pretty smooth. We talked about the position of my uterus and trying not to scrape it this time. She checked my cervix and the kind of tilt of my uterus and said it actually looked like it was in a decent position the day of IUI, because it can move a little bit during your cycle. You have tendons that connect to the uterus, and they do flex and pull on it a little bit in different scenarios. So she started the catheter. It went in really easy. I had no pain, no pokes, no scrapes. She got it into position. We did the IUI. I didn't have any leakage after, which was nice, because last few times I definitely had like the pink sperm wash stuff that they put the sperm into. I had some of that afterwards, and they're like, oh, that's normal, whatever, but it kind of makes you feel like it all just came right back out. So didn't have that this time. I did have a little spotting, but she had told me tip cervix can be kind of finicky and usually bleed when they're disrupted at all. So the little bit of bleeding and spotting I had afterwards was likely from the cervix, not from inside the uterus. Felt pretty good afterwards. No real symptoms, no real issues, no cramping. Saturday came, and I woke up Saturday morning, and it was very evident that Saturday was ovulation day. Lot of pain, lot of left side pain. Was very difficult to get around. I got very bloated, a lot of pain and pressure, and it peaked about mid-afternoon, and then by evening was really subsiding, just a little bit of soreness, and by Sunday morning when I woke up was completely gone. So I definitely know that Saturday was ovulation day. So having the IUI done Saturday probably would have been the best timing. There's no good way to predict these things, so unfortunate. We did take care of things at home Saturday morning and Saturday evening. Saturday morning, I tried something I've never done before, which is a lot of girls do in fertility groups, is I used my soft discs that I use for period and put one in Saturday morning after having sex to try to hold things there a little longer. We'll see. I've never done that. I did test out trigger. So like I said before, the trigger, HCG trigger shot, puts HCG in your system. It will turn a pregnancy test. So I tested every day to see when those lines would go away. It took about 7 to 8 days for them to really truly go negative. So definitely out of system. I kind of promised myself I wouldn't take another pregnancy test until I got late on my period, if I get late. Now, I am taking progesterone support. Progesterone can prevent your period from coming. I typically don't experience that because for some reason my body really just wants to crash, and the other forms of progesterone I've been on haven't been very successful at preventing my period from coming in the past. It has happened, but generally not. So I'm on Crenone gel, which is like an applicator that you use. It's preloaded. It has this little bit of cream in it, tiny little bit, and you put it in the morning. And it's so far been my favorite form of progesterone. It's the least messy, the least aggravating to deal with or to do. And I am 11 DPO today, so I actually think the Crenone might actually be like keeping my progesterone levels good. So normally on 9 DPO or 10 DPO, but usually 9, I start to experience a progesterone crash, and I'll get a slight hint of cramping, and then spotting will start. And it's a real light on and off spotting, but it happens for a few days before my period. Heaviest at night, like I'll think, oh, here it is, like this is period time, and then I wake up in the morning and it's gone. And then by mid-afternoon, I'm having a little bit when I wipe. In the evening, it's like light flow, and then it's gone. So I'll do that for a few days. So it is 11 DPO, and I haven't had any of that yet. My normal cycles, I typically ovulate around day 14, and then I have 12, sometimes 13 days, and then my period will start. But of those, 12 or 13 days, a few days of them are spotting. So I am 11 DPO, and I haven't had any spotting, which is encouraging. Not in the sense that I think I'm pregnant, encouraging in the sense that Crenone may actually be like absorbing well, and my body might actually be handling this extra progesterone the way it should be, which is would be excellent, because that would mean I would have an effective progesterone supplement to use. So that would make me happy. I would feel like I at least got something out of this cycle. So anyways, that's where I'm at. So I am, according to my schedule, I am due for my period either Friday or Saturday of this week. So it's Wednesday, and I don't want to test unless Saturday comes around and I don't have my period. It could 100% just mean that the Crenone is keeping my progesterone up, which prevents your period from coming, which again is good in the sense that, it's doing what it should. But so just because I miss my period does not mean I'm pregnant. So basically that's the next step I'm waiting for, is to see if my period comes by Saturday or not. So that will kind of be a moment of truth day, and I'll break down and test at that point. So I guess I'll update then.